Hey, this is Michael, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Desert Backroads. Out here in central Arizona, the desert hides one of the strangest Cold War-era landscapes in the state. Today, I'm on the hunt for the Casa Grande crosses, mysterious concrete targets laid out across the desert in a massive grid. Okay, so walking to the first location, and this is in the mountains just south of Casa Grande. So the first site should be here. I can't drive to it according to the signs, but it looks like other people have driven their cars and vehicles out here, but I'm just gonna heed the warning signs and keep my truck back here, and we'll see if we can find the first cross. Set on out. There's something eerie about these places. They're not marked like monuments. They're not preserved like historic sites. They're just out here, half forgotten, slowly bending back into the desert. And when the first stop looks like this, I start wondering, do I keep going, or has the desert already swallowed the rest of them too?
Born over a fault line, bad teeth and worse habits.
Okay, it looks like the first site was a bust, sort of. I mean, the actual cross, the concrete slabs, were actually busted. This may have been due to rainfall over the years, the heat, and maybe even vandalism. But from here to the point where it's located, there are plenty of just pieces of concrete with rebar. And it's a sign that, yeah, these things don't stay out here forever. But I've been to other locations, and we're gonna hit up those locations now. I know those ones are in place, but before we leave, I'm just gonna have Scout take a quick look, fly above, and see what we have. The crosses were designed to stand out from above, each one laid out with deliberate geometry. Researchers now point to them as part of the Casa Grande photogrammetric test range. But at our first site, the evidence has faded away. It's time to head to the next site. All right, I think I'm arriving at the second site. Let's see what we have. All right, so I found the second spot, and it's just south of Casa Grande and just south of Interstate 8. This one seems to be, well, fairly well intact, but there's a lot of garbage around here, so let's get a look at it, see what we have. There's also some little plaques that are ingrained in the concrete and have a little bit of information, so let's check those out. The bronze disc was the exact surveyed control point, the fixed center of the target. The concrete arms made the marker visible from above, but the bronze survey marker in the middle provided the precise reference positions engineers and photogrammetry crews needed on the ground. It was essentially the true point that tied the whole target to real-world measurements. The third site is a different story. This one is much clearer, sitting right next to the road and easier to read from the ground. There's no debris field, no thick overgrowth, just the cross exposed in the open desert light. These crosses were built for function, not beauty. They were never meant to impress anyone on the ground. Their job was to be precise, visible from above, and exactly where they needed to be. Okay, this is spot number 4. It's no different than the other concrete slabs that we just saw, no different than the other crosses. My last stop comes at the end of the day, with the sun dropping low and the desert starting to glow. After chasing these old calibration crosses across the desert, what stands out most is how easy they are to miss, not just physically, but historically.
They're relics of a time when accuracy, mapping, and aerial imaging were becoming essential tools of the Cold War era. And this desert became part of that history.
All right, so that's my look at the crosses in central Arizona. These crosses have a lot of history and just kind of a cool thing to see when the weather is right for traveling in Arizona. All right, just another beautiful day in the Sonoran Desert. See you on the next trip. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.